Kazakhstan has chosen the multi-vector integration. Its trends, collisions, and prospects are coming up in the Single Market program.
Hello, you're watching the program Single Market. Infrastructure and logistics are the alpha and omega of the contemporary economy. Infrastructure and logistics cooperation is one of the key issues for the countries sharing one border and having the long-standing trade and economic relations. It is reasonable that today Russia and Kazakhstan activated their efforts to develop the transport and logistics capacities for mutual benefit. Oksana Trofimova to follow the details. How Kazakhstan and Russia can effectively cooperate in terms of the near-border partnership. What joint traffic projects may increase the transit potential for both countries. Currently, these issues are discussed at various levels, including by the heads of countries. The point is that on one hand, Kazakhstan and Russia are integrated into the Eurasian Economic Union. And on the other hand, these countries are the members of the global initiative, One Belt, One Road. Today, the Eurasian Union is a key element for revival of the Great Silk Road, proposed the People's Republic of China. This road passes many countries, and we need to establish the efficient economic relations with each of these countries. First of all, in the fields of transportation and logistics. Construction of the major transport corridors will ensure conditions for accelerating economic growth, create new opportunities for regional development, and it will be possible to increase their investment prospects, promote the trans-regional cooperation, and provide employment opportunities. The entire transportation network of Russia and Kazakhstan accounts for 100,000 containers. It is 0.1% of the freight traffic from Asia to Europe. Experts of both countries agree that the transport and transit potential is implemented very ineffectively. The situation must be totally changed. By developing the transport and logistics infrastructure of our countries, we are forming the background for increasing the goods turnover between Kazakhstan and Russia, and between the countries of the entire Eurasian continent. Establishment of the joint ventures is the best way to create a joint and common transport and logistics system. Establishment of the United Transport and Logistics Container Transportation Company is one of the most remarkable recent international projects. The national railway companies from Kazakhstan, Russia, and Belarus are the shareholders. When combining efforts, it can be resolved quickly and the activity result becomes more impressive. Our customers are the transportation companies, shipping agents throughout the entire Eurasian area. Generally, it is the 1,435mm freight forwarders. Average transmission speed of the container trains along the route China-Europe and back has already exceeded 1,000 kilometers per day. By the end of 2016, the United Transport and Logistics Company is planning to increase the cargo transportation up to 90,000 containers, which is almost twice higher compared to 2015. By 2025, a new international company is planning to achieve the traffic flow up to 1 million containers a year, which means transshipment of 14 container trains a day. Can you just imagine the well-arranged freight container service provided by the new terminal in Horgos, with a frequency of one train every 1.5 hours? It is a very difficult but interesting task, and the most important resolution to this problem is that it is for the benefit of our countries and people. Transport Corridor Western Europe, Western China is one of the priority projects implemented under the global initiative One Belt, One Road. China has already completed its section, and the Kazakh section is near completion. Unfortunately, Russia is at the initial stage of construction still, though the definite time frame for the international project was negotiated initially. Private investors are able to accelerate the construction of the Russian sections of the transit corridor. Preparation works have already been started along the route from the Kazakh-Russian border checkpoint Sagarchin to the Belarusian border. Being a part of the international corridor Western Europe, Western China, this motorway will be a toll motorway. Its construction will start next year. Our motorway is passing 8 Russian regions. Its length is almost 2,000 kilometers. It is the first B-class motorway of 2 lanes in one direction, 2 lanes in the other direction. We are planning to use the experience of our Kazakh colleagues and to build the concrete pavement motorway, including a traffic load of 13 tons per axle. Last year, the market volume between the European Union and China amounted to $1,100,000,000. Every year, this goods exchange will increase at the biggest global continent. Over the last 5 to 6 years, Kazakhstan has invested more than $23 billion in the national transport infrastructure. And by 2020, Kazakhstan is planning to invest an additional $12 billion. However, ultimately, the transit effect of the global-wide infrastructure facilities depends on the close cooperation between all the country members of the transnational corridors. Oksana Trofimova, Anatoly Valyutsky, Special Report for Single Market. Switzerland is the world financial center. It is the leading European manufacturer in such sectors as machine building industry, pharmaceuticals, chemical, consumer goods, and food industries. The banking sector and watch production that has become the national brands are the reference standards. Reliable as the Swiss bank or precise as the Swiss watch. A businessman delegation from Switzerland visited Kazakhstan. Anar Tastanbekova was finding out the prospects promised by this visit. This year, Almaty's autumn was very fruitful for visits of the foreign business delegations. Representatives of the business world from France, Hungary, China, Brazil, and Switzerland visited the southern metropolis for 2.5 months. Almaty was happy to host all guests as each visit promises new opportunities for the city. A meeting with the Swiss businessman was very remarkable personally for me as a journalist of the Single Market Program. This interest is quite logical. The area of Switzerland is 41,285 square kilometers. It is 66 times smaller than the area of Kazakhstan. Nevertheless, this country is considered as one of the wealthiest European countries. Mainly the Swiss economy could have achieved good results due to such factors as stable growth of the banking sector, stable over an extended period of time, large inflow of global capital, and a high technology level, which is the most important aspect. We know that Kazakhstan is always interested in the technologies of the 21st century, especially energy-saving technologies. Switzerland has achieved certain results in this field of activity, and we're willing to share everything we have with Kazakhstan. By the way, for the 10 years, Switzerland has invested $15 billion in Kazakhstan's economy. This year, the trade turnover between our countries exceeded $2 billion, and the annual results have not yet been announced. Mainly hydrocarbons and metals are exported from Kazakhstan to Switzerland. In return, Switzerland exports optics, watches, and the chemical and pharmaceutical products to Kazakhstan. 2 chambers of commerce arrived in Almaty from Switzerland. The first chamber of commerce was the international one, including Switzerland, Russia, and CIS countries, and the second was the Chamber of Commerce from the Canton of Geneva. We've provided a large delegation consisting of more than 30 people, those representing the various sectors of the economy and finance. We have bankers and investors. As for the delegation membership, it was chosen considering the interest of Switzerland and Kazakhstan. In this case, unique features of the development and potential capabilities of the Almaty economy were counted. You know, today Almaty is interested in investors of different levels. We also have small businesses and medium businesses entrepreneurs who arrived with us. They are willing to develop relationships with the Kazakhstani representatives at the medium business level. Swiss guests see the potential doors for cooperation in the areas related to the southern metropolis development. For example, they are interested in the construction sector, where they would be able to present their products.
It is a system that is anti-seismic, anti-fire, anti-noise, and absolutely ready for this kind of weather that you have. The only problem is that it's impossible to deliver in Kazakhstan bricks. So we need to make a manufacturing here.
Healthcare is another area where Switzerland finds its prospects.
We have
great medical equipment. We can offer the most advanced medical devices to equip your clinics.
медицина и образование.
Health and education, infrastructure and construction sectors, and finally tourism. This list of the potential directions in the Kazakh-Swiss partnership at the Almaty meeting is very impressive. It is because these areas can involve any and each city dweller in the southern metropolis in its orbit, those who are willing to live and recreate in their own city in a comfortable environment. Anar Tastanbekova, operator, Almaty for the Single Market Program.
Рынок без границ.
The unique enterprise in Central Asia that is producing medical optics is based in the city of Almaty. Under the business government-supported program 3 years ago, they have launched a new manufacturing line producing this type of products. By the way, they have installed super modern German equipment. Our correspondent was finding out how this enterprise is working today and its prospects. Release of new products does not necessarily mean a start from nothing. The half-century history can be additional advantage to new perspectives of the old enterprise if they move with the time following its technological capabilities and customer demand. Almaty Med-Rem Zavod was founded in 1965. Today, this company is focusing on the repair and maintenance of medical equipment. In the middle of the 80s, this company started producing the mineral astigmatic optical lenses. Since that time, it is a unique enterprise in Central Asia that produces the composite prescribed lenses. Support provided by the Damu Fund and the National Program Business Roadmap 2020 gave a second wind to this enterprise in 2013, when this enterprise upgraded its facilities. A new manufacturing line producing optical lenses has been launched here due to the process of re-equipment. By the way, this line is one of the most modern in the world. It was purchased in Germany. We can say it is an innovation company. We are mastering and developing new types of technologies. We mastered production of the progressive lenses, which is a very complicated process. We had a long way to reach it. Astigmatic people see the objects with the same difficulty, if these objects are far and near. Therefore, progressive lenses are in high demand, as they're needed for seeing at a distance and for reading. Two types of spectacles. Today, not only Kazakhstani citizens are buying these spectacles, even people from Kyrgyzstan, Uzbekistan, Turkmenistan, and some Russian regions are coming here, ordering and using our lenses. Senior citizens, those having an age-long sightedness, are another potential group of consumers of these products. In this case, at the same time, they need two types of spectacles with different dioptry. Multifocal lenses are the best option. Using the same spectacles equipped with these progressive lenses, a person can see at a distance, can read a book, watch TV, or work on the computer. These spectacles replace not only the 2, but 3 or 4 zones. This is the so-called multifocal lenses. On the one hand, the plant produces very specific and relevant products to a large group of consumers. On the other hand, it manufactures the products of highly complex technologies and very high quality. These features and advantages of the enterprise have not gone unnoticed by the government. Based on the results of the competition for awarding the President's Award of the Republic of Kazakhstan, Altin Sapa, Golden Quality, in 2014, Med-Rem Zavod was recognized as the best enterprise producing the goods for population. In 2014, Med-Rem Zavod company had won the second place countrywide at the regional stage of the competition, the best product of Kazakhstan. However, this success is not a guarantee for a trouble-free existence of the company, which is constantly aiming to develop. The company is planning to acquire additional equipment at its own cost and master new types of lenses. But implementation of a new plan may be impeded by the problems relating to the raw material purchase from abroad. In this case, the company is relying on the governmental support in terms of tax preferences. Raw material for making lenses is taxed, but the finished lenses imported from abroad are not taxed. It means we have unequal conditions with the foreign manufacturers. That is the problem we would like to resolve.
Находимся в неравных условиях с импортными производителями. Вот этот вопрос нам бы хотелось решить.
If this issue is resolved in favor of the Kazakhstani enterprise, we would be more confident to compete with the major exporters in Central Asia, and Russia, Indian and Chinese markets.
У нас есть резервы.
We have reserves to compete with these manufacturers. We could leave them behind. We are seeking for any preferential treatment. We are just asking to align the conditions with the foreign manufacturers. See the prospects in the present time. That is the approach practiced by this company that could have found its place in the market in the difficult period, even for a large economy. Maria Kuznetsova, Yerlan Uralbekov, Almaty. Special report for the Single Market Program. That's all for today. I'm Pavel Koktashev. Let me remind you that you can find all our stories at www.kazakh-tv.kz. See you in the next Single Market.